What's up, Twitch and YouTube? It's MurphyD55 coming to you with another episode of the Vertex Podcast. This is episode 3, and today we've got 3 of the boys in here. We got MUTality, the Twitter goon, who's been giving us all the news heading up to the Madden 23 season. We got my guy Dill TV, who just sent in the big boy raid, getting us started off on the right foot. And my guy NickOCinco, the newest addition to the squad here, with the crazy lights in the background. Man, that's wild. Your setup's looking good over there, Nick, but appreciate you boys taking the time to come in here. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about some stuff. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about here, and I know MUTality and Nick can speak to this. We had some crazy chat battles going on for Fall Guys during the Madden Dead season, which kind of got a lot of us through the Dead season of Madden. Like it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't wanted to boot up and stream Madden for a while now. But what was your overall experience? Maybe we'll start off with MUTality on this one. Running Fall Guys in your chat for like the last month.
Yeah, no, Fall Guys was definitely like a lifesaver over the Dead period. I feel like the last Dead period was just like you're just booting up, you're not excited to play, you're just on Madden, like not doing anything, just not putting on a good show because you're just out of it. We're already 11 months into the game. People aren't really trying to play and watch, but gave us something to do, and it was super interactive with the customs, so we got everybody involved, and I felt like it was a huge W. Chat battles was definitely like the big W of like the off season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the funnest part was I think Jock is kind of the one who went crazy on this, but the free agency period and putting together graphics. And
yeah,
the
graphics
period,
went crazy,
and then the intrigue, like the people flipping sides. It was insane, man. There were some hurt feelings over this thing. We saw some crazy tweets that were put up and taken down. We had like. It was wild, man. There was some crazy speculation going on there. But Nick, you were. What team did you align yourself with? Your chat was like one of the nastiest when it came to Fall Guys. You've been running it on your channel for a while too. Whose team did you sign with?
Well, I went with Flats's, but I did that whole like college, or high school, like college recruiting thing where I put everybody's name like on one of the hats I had.
Nice.
And then like in the middle of the stream when we were all playing, like I said, I was gonna take my talents to fucking hard flats or whatever, and I ripped off Geezy's hat thing like with my mouth. I ripped it off and spit it at the camera. He was all butthurt.
Yo, that's wild. I love that, man.
It was funny.
And Geezy's squad still was able to come away with a W there. I know it was hard fought. It was orange versus red in the finals, right? But it was honestly like it was beautiful too, because like a lot of you guys were MUTality streams around the same time as me. Dill streams, whenever he's not graduating, he boots up a stream. But Nick, you're always doing the late night thing too, and honestly, that's like the best time for me watching Fall Guys. So I really enjoyed like the Demon Hour streams. Even the lead up to the actual event was crazy. The Animal coming through with the sub and Next Fiber with the bits. Appreciate you boys, man. 16 months for the Animal. What a goon. He's killing it lately. My guy, the Animal, is a force to be reckoned with. Much love, but so moving on. I would ask Dill about it, but I know he actually did have a graduation thing that day. We joke about it a lot in court. I know he's getting tired of it probably, but he actually did have a graduation pre-planned, so he couldn't make it. But next summer, Dill's community is going to be. I'm
gonna have to see some pictures of that or some documentation.
Yeah, Dill, do you have is the degree in the mail? Are you going to frame it and put it up on your wall somewhere?
So I had 2 degrees, but my mom kept both of them and framed them up at like my Fredericksburg house where I'm from.
That's pretty convenient.
Hey, yeah.
When I move out on my own, I'll have them.
There we go. Sounds good. I was gonna say because that's what my wife. Her degrees are in her parents' house because they're all like so proud of all their kids graduating and whatnot. Mine are sitting up here. I can show proof. I need receipts though from Dill for sure. Make sure that degree's a real thing. All right, sounds good, man. But boys, the next thing I wanted to move on. We've had a whole bunch of news leaked out, specifically like in the last couple of days. That Gridiron Notes thing had everybody going crazy in the community. And the first big thing that I noticed was the removal or the change of Weekend League to this like MUT Champions format, where it's still a 25 game schedule, but you can play it throughout the week, and it'll probably reset like on Mondays at 10:30 or something. What are your guys' thoughts? We'll go around the horn here. What are you guys' thoughts about the changes? Did you prefer the old Weekend League, like Thursday to Monday, or do you like that you have a bit more flexibility now? I'll start with NickOC on this one.
For a dude like me, I'm gonna obviously think it's cool, but I think for like the real I don't know, it depends, because like how I want to be in next year's Madden compared to the last 2 years is like streaming it. I'd like this to be like my best year for Madden, I guess. Like I'm gonna make a more conscious effort to be better at the game this year instead of just booting up and trying to have fun. Well, obviously I'm gonna have fun, but I think you get what I'm like. Actually make an effort to be good at the game this year. Yeah. So like I feel like I don't know, for like a casual dude, maybe yeah, that's what we like because I don't want to sit down and sweat, 8 games a day, a weekend league just to finish for the weekend. But now you kind of take it away. You kind of take like the weekend league part away from it now, though, don't you? Because
Yeah.
I played head-to-head seasons for that. I didn't complain about it. Like I was alright with just playing head-to-head until Friday, and then maybe I get a few weekend league games in. But like now, I think it takes I think a lot of like the grinders, like I think I seen Dub Dot say something about it. Just like
Yeah,
a
I
lot
saw
of the
that.
big names, a lot of like people that are into it. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
pride themselves on weekend league. It kind of took it away from them now. So I don't know. It's not something I'm gonna complain about, right? And I don't think anyone's complaining necessarily because everybody seems to be pretty happy about everything so far. But
Yeah.
it definitely does seem like they took a pretty big like piece away from at least the Madden community, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe not people that don't stream or in the Madden community that just like bought the game. They don't like But I
Yeah.
think for as far as the community goes, they might have took a little piece of something that we all not I don't care about personally, but I know
Yeah.
a lot of people do care about. You know what I mean?
Facts. And I did see that tweet that W put out last night too, and it's true. Like it's it is like it's taken away that event type nature to it. It's like weekend league is normally like a
Yeah.
weekly event, and now it doesn't really feel like an event anymore. If it's just like another head-to-head mode that you log into.
Exactly.
But I'll let Dill talk on this. Dill, what do you think about the changes to weekend league?
So I'll be honest, that was like I thought it was just the biggest of W's because last year I don't think I was able to play like a single weekend league because I was always just busy during the weekend with my schedule, and I like always wanted to play weekend league, like try to like grind for like top 100 or whatever. And yeah, I just like if you're not really like hardcore Madden, playing 25 games like Thursday through Sunday, especially so during the like NFL season, I try to do as little as possible on Sunday because I want to watch my team.
Yeah.
I want to watch like all the games going on. So it kind of eliminates the day. So like playing like 25 games Friday, Saturday, just especially if you have a life, you want to go out and stuff, like hang out with friends. For a lot of people, it just really wasn't feasible. So I really like that. I'm just really curious to see how like top 100 is going to work. I know some people said it was going to be like FIFA, but I don't even know how FIFA works.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I really like it because I'll actually be able to play Weekend League on like both my No Money Spin account and my real account.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really you don't even have to go through the year if you have 2 accounts and you're grinding weekend league on both. You really don't ever have to play head-to-head seasons throughout the year at this point. I think it kind of encourages me to only stream weekend league. Like I feel like if I boot up for 2-3 hours a night, on a work night, like why not just play my weekend league on stream and play head-to-head seasons off stream and kind of lab. I think it's kind of a W in that sense. But again, I was never one of those guys who got super sweaty, and I was not a perennial top 100 contender. So. I'm sure the super comp guys feel a little bit different about it for sure. MUTality, what about for you? Do you think this is a W or an L overall?
Yeah, I mean I can see both sides to the coin. I really can. I can see where the comp people are coming from, that it was a special thing, that it was kind of like an event. They were all sweating together at the same time. You're popping tabs for your boys. You're trying to get on the leaderboard. And that is nostalgic, and I will miss that a little bit, but I think for the majority of the community, it will end up being good because for a lot of reasons, like you said, people have kids, lives, jobs. A lot of times you may be restricted. You wanted to play weekend league and get the good rewards, but you couldn't finish sometimes, especially with what Dill touched on. A lot of times during football season, Saturday, Sunday, I may not touch Madden at all. I'm watching college football. I'm watching my fantasy team on Sundays. I may not touch Madden at all Saturday, Sunday. So if I'm trying to sweat games like Thursday, Friday, and then I have like a bunch left for like Sunday night, I just feel like stressed out. Like I'm trying to like get them in. But again, I can see both sides where the comp guys are coming from. As long as they keep somewhat of a leaderboard and the rewards are good, I think everyone will warm up to it eventually. I think it's a good change.
Exactly. I think the leaderboard definitely has to be part of it because we all love like checking to see where we're at like throughout the week. A lot of people are saying there's gonna be some Mickey Mouse ones, like people playing all their games on like a Tuesday night or something, at 2 a.m. to try and get there. But I mean, to each their own. But that is one thing too. I think with the tokens that you mentioned, so the new reward system is gonna be these tokens and we can cash them in immediately, so you don't have to wait for the rollout on Tuesdays anymore. You can just kind of, I assume, put them into sets, and I'm assuming the sets will change throughout the year and the pack odds will change, hopefully. I don't know if they're going to be necessarily like trophies. It looked like the one had like a 1 coin quick sell value, so I don't think they're going to be like, I don't know, who knows, maybe they attach a quick sell thing and you can just take your coins too, which I actually would be happy with that personally if I don't want to test my luck on packs. But overall, I think it's like pretty lukewarm. Like, yeah, like you said, nobody really hates this, but a lot of people, like Animal in the chat said, as a parent, having more time to, your schedule, you never know what your schedule is going to look like. For me, like, and everybody else who's working a regular 9-to-5 job, it's like, it's nice to have the flexibility to get a little bit, like, chip away at it throughout the course of the week for sure, especially if you want to hang out with friends or do other social stuff for sure. But the next thing that I want to talk about, one of the changes as well, is that they added all Madden seasons, it looks like, which we didn't have any all Madden seasons last year. The year before they added it, like, for the end of the year, for a couple months. What seasons are you guys going to be grinding? Like, are you guys going to be playing, like, regular seasons or all Madden seasons? Like, what's your preference? Because I really liked all Madden seasons a couple years ago. I thought it was a W. Nick, what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to be like, the game should only be played one way, but it really should be only played on all Madden. If you're playing online head-to-head or you're playing, like, Weekend League or something, well, there's no reason to be playing on all... I don't even really know the biggest of differences compared to, like, the guys that are really good at Madden. Like, they notice what's going on and why that happened way more than I do. And, they never really should have been an all-pro. Whenever you play people in head-to-head, like, when you play... Comp Madden isn't always an all Madden. I think every single version of when you play anybody, pretty much, we always played all Madden. When I play my chat, I always play an all Madden. Yeah. Like, I think the all Madden seasons is a huge dub, and that's, I mean, I think it just kind of seems like they actually maybe tapped in and listened a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, because we complained for like a whole year about it.
Yeah, 100%. This kind of, I think that's why a lot of people are so optimistic. It feels like they really did listen. Like, a lot of these changes, these quality of living changes they're making is stuff that we've been asking for years. I guess the only other thing would be like a practice mode, a MUT practice mode would be the last thing that people want to see that they've been asking for years as well. But definitely a good point there.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Dill, what about you? What do you think you'll be grinding when it comes to seasons this year?
Well, I'm gonna for sure just be on just all Madden. The thing I'm interested in seeing though is like in the like field pass or whatever, or like the player you can grind for like bi-weekly. I wonder if they're just gonna make that just like a house rules or like all pro seasons type of thing. Yeah. But I really like Madden or the all Madden seasons. I think it was in 21 at the end of the year. Yeah. I think there was like no like elo system either. So like you just like booted up and like the first person you found, it didn't really matter like, hey, if you're in like the all Madden head-to-head season division, that doesn't mean you're always just going to constantly be in just like sweaty games and everything. Yeah. So I really liked the all Madden seasons last time it was in the game, and I'm just going to be on all Madden all year.
Absolutely. And hopefully they have a leaderboard too. Like, I know leaderboards are really only for the guys to get super sweaty and play a crap load of games, but like I think the leaderboard is a good thing to have. So hopefully they have a separate one for all pro and all Madden. So if you want to just choose to grind one all year, you're still working towards something for those guys that put in like a ton of hours. For sure. Yeah. And MUTality, what about you? What do you think about all Madden versus regular? And also, I talked to Joe Bruin the other day about this, and he was saying, like, I'm just going to play whatever mode Weekend League is. Like, is Weekend League going to be all pro or all Madden? Like, it should be all Madden, right? Like, I don't know.
That's the thing I was going to say, too. It'll be interesting to see if Weekend League's on all Madden now or it's going to be still on all pro, because I feel like that was one of the biggest things. Like, the comp guys, you're obviously playing Weekend League to get like your best reps, but then you go in like an MCS tournament and things are playing differently because it's on a whole different difficulty. So it's just like, I'll probably start out in all Madden. Maybe I'll check out what Weekend League difficulty is. I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll be nice to just kind of test the different modes. We'll see.
For sure. And
give us more options, the better.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure like all the comp guys or people who are going to be competing in MCS are definitely going to be going for all Madden, because that's what I assume they'll be playing in the tournaments like it is every year. New Era coming through with the sub. Thank you, New Era. Appreciate you, my dude. Appreciate everybody in the chat as I talk to these legends over here. But the next thing I want to get into, guys, another one of the changes they mentioned here is strategy cards changing up as well. So strategy cards now being, I don't know if it's just going to be literally one attribute is impacted, it looks like. The one they showed us was like zone coverage. But they said there's only going to be one on offense, one on defense, and then one for theme teams. So is that what do you guys think that means? Like are we just going to get like a +1 zone coverage and that's it? Like, and there's no speed attached to it either, as well. So like, what do you guys think of this new thing with no speed being added through strat cards this year? We'll go around again with Nick.
I think that's pretty much what we've all been asking for, right? Is like at least like nip the speed thing in the ass, at least to start the year. Like I don't mind, as the year progresses, obviously the players get faster, but like play zones better. Just play football better, right? Like, I know it's obviously Madden, but like just play the game better. Play your zones better. If it's a man coverage thing, play man better. Like, I don't need everybody. I don't need a streak route with Tyreek to go for a touchdown like every time just to start the year. So like, I think it's a good approach. I don't really know exactly what it's all about yet though. Like, I think I'm gonna have to like kind of mess around with it once the game starts. But I'm okay with that. I'm all right with not knowing exactly like what things do yet. But
For sure.
no, I think it's just a big duh. Overall, I think the strat card's kind of not being like not nerfed, but at least for different things is definitely a huge thing.
Yeah, definitely like prolongs the longevity of the game too. Like not like last year was crazy how those rookie premieres were so freaking fast at the beginning of the year. Like that I don't know if it was a Jamar Chase card. I can't remember.
Chase.
It was insane. It was like 91 speed like right off the rip. But hopefully it makes a positive change for sure. Dill, what do you think about the new strat cards from what's been revealed so far?
So I was really going to talk about the longevity, like you were saying, but just like besides that point, the amount of coins I had to spend on strat cards was absolutely disgusting because I would just get so unlucky in the rerolls. Like, I had to reroll so many times. I'm so glad like I can just rock out with like a common strategy card, whatever. I'll get like +1 zone. I don't really care at like the start of the year. Like of course like the people that are gonna be like competing for like a belt or whatever are gonna want like the purple strategy cards or whatever. But for like people that just want to like kind of like chill and like actually like build up their like players of their team and not like have to spend like $4,000 day one for the best strategy cards, I think it's a huge W.
Yeah, and now you refer to these purple ones. So have they leaked that there's going to be different tiers of strat cards available this year? Like some that are like a bigger multiplier?
I think MUTleaks had it on there that like there's going to be purples this year. And everyone got scared because it didn't come out that like, hey, there's not going to be speed on them this year.
Yeah, damn. So look at that. I missed that. So we're already getting new leaks coming through in the podcast. I appreciate the insight there. Yeah, and they're auctionable too, right? This year, so you can also like trade or buy the exact ones you want instead of having to spend $4 million to get the second in the zone or whatever. That's one thing different. That was so frustrating early last year.
Oh my god,
the worst thing.
So, and for me, I think I spent like $700,000 all in to get mine, and I was okay with that. Some people were like, I spent $4 million, I still didn't get the ones I wanted. So
I did. That's what I spent. Is like
crazy,
3-4 million.
Yeah, MUTality, what do you think about the strat cards this year, like as opposed to previous years where it was like, we used to have the training ones where you can just add it to every single player. Like what do you think is the best possible boost situation?
Yeah, they both kind of touched on it. Like I think we've been asking for speed to be touched for a long time. I was already excited before we even knew about the strat stuff, just seeing people already lower like that Snead, we'd see 88 speed, and I think Tyreek was 87 compared to last year. We had Tyreek starting at 90, so that was already 3. Jamar at 91, so that's like 3 or 4 speed already faster than the fastest guy we have now. Plus, we don't have power-ups anymore, so there's 1 more speed we didn't have. Now we're down on strats. There's another 2 speed, so we're looking at like 6 to 7 speeds lower already than we were starting at, so that is just huge, hopefully, for the game. I mean, that's not to say first promo they don't slap a 91 Randy Moss the next week and fuck everything up, but let's hope not. But this is a good start because, I mean, I know a lot of people later in the year when it's February, March, and you got 99 speed guys, you just don't really feel like upgrading, so I mean, it's definitely a big W.
Absolutely, yeah. And I see people in the chat saying no power-ups this year. New Era saying, yeah, apparently there's going to be some ways to power up players within promos, they said, which is probably like just, training bypasses on cards or something like that, I assume.
Theme teams. Someone says something about theme teams as well. None of us really touched at all on theme teams either. Like that's kind of a big thing too.
Do you want to speak on that? Like, what do you guys think about theme teams? Because I've been assuming theme teams are going to be the only way to boost speed, but some people, like I know Jock was putting out a video like theme teams are nerfed. Like, what do you guys think? I assume there's still going to be a boost for theme teams, but for speed, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyone have any opinions on that?
For a dude like me, I'll be excited. I don't have a team really. You know what I mean? So for a dude like me, I want LaDainian Tomlinson. I want Chad Johnson. Like, I don't really care about. I hope I don't. You know what I mean? I'd love if we could get a little more option. I mean, there's nothing wrong with theme team. I've never complained about them. Never really. Other than the fact that it's going to be the Raiders are the best team. Like, other than like Niners, a couple teams are usually always the best just because they had so many players. But like,
facts.
I don't know. It'd be nice to pick random players that I actually want to use. I want to use everybody. I don't want to have to use the same people that everyone else uses. I just want to use the own people that I have that I want to use. You know what I mean? So hopefully I'm able to do that this year. If not, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but hopefully I can.
For sure, and hopefully, like the gameplay, like a lot of people were saying, maybe route running is going to be a lot more important this year than speed. I think if they can make a game where the periphery stats, other than just speed, matter, then we'll be able to use whatever players we want, as long as you have like good strategy, good scheme that you're running for sure. Anyone else want to touch on the theme teams? Anybody going to be running a theme team from the start of the year?
Dolphins theme team on top.
Let's go, and that's not strategical. That's just Tua. That's a little bit of love for Tua right there. Let's go.
Yeah, I would assume they don't touch theme teams. I think a lot of people do like the theme teams, and they've been pushing that recently with the team affinities, the team diamonds, Kralo's like old theme team enthusiast line. So, and I think a lot of people have grown to like theme teams. I mean, they're good and bad. Again, I think it's cool to be able to get some sort of boost for rocking your favorite team and sacrificing and using some of those players. But again, I don't really know what the solution was. I actually was talking with people about this the other day about theme teams. I don't think people want a repeat of like the Raiders all the time, the Jets all the time. But I don't really know the best solution to that, because the only thing I would think is to get more legends, get more rights for players, because some of these guys are going to come out regardless, like the Moss, the Bo Jackson, the Vic. Those are staples we're going to get regardless, so there's not really anything you can do to like change those players. They're going to be in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting too, like with theme teams. Like I've been running a Niners theme team for like 3 years. I hate myself because I'm not a Niners fan, but I just do it because I know they're going to be tough every single year. Like I think if we can find some middle ground where we can do a little bit of what Nick is saying, where he just tries out every player, like regardless of team, and you can just play with the best players at each position, and where a guy like Dill can rock a Dolphins team and have them be competitive too. It's like whatever the best way is to bring like some parity. I think is definitely good for the game for sure.
Another thing on that too is like a franchise like the Niners, sometimes they're not always dropping Niners cards, but it's just someone has played for the Niners. Like obviously Randy Moss, you don't think they give the Vikings their Randy Moss, but the problem is you can give Moss Niners chem. So it's just like historic franchise or players that have been to a bunch of places. Like there's not really anything you can do about to change that. I don't know what the solution would be.
Like Cordero Patterson. Like there's certain players that are glitchy and they play on like 5 or 6 franchises, and those are like the valuable ones. But you're right, like, and it's a lot to take into account for the devs too. Like, oh, this guy played on 6 different teams. Like, is this fair for the game? So I totally see what you're saying.
I know.
For me, I that's why I like the Niners, because they have so many guys who just had a cup of tea, played like half a season with them, and then they get the strat card. So like I don't remember them ever in that uniform, but hey, whatever. I don't remember Randy Moss playing for the Niners, but you're goddamn right, I'm using them every single year on my theme team, 100%. But the next thing I wanted to move on to, guys, kind of one of the last things before I start getting into, starting to build our teams for MUT and how that's going to look this year. But they added some features now where you can access sets through the binder. Now, from what I heard, it sounds something like they're going to be able to, apparently, like you can autofill them and it takes into account the price of cards as well, or something like that. I heard like it looks at the market value and gives you the cheapest ones. Like W or L on this, and do you think it's actually going to work? I feel like there's going to be so much room for glitching on this that it's going to be insane. Let's start with MUTality. Let's go around the horn. Let's go backwards this time so that we can get a... So MUTality doesn't have to just come up with something out of his ass after you guys cover all the good points.
I think it's going to be a nice quality of life to being able to swap between like the sets, the auction house, and your binder. Because the most annoying thing is like if you're trying to complete a set because you want the card and you just want to be able to play with the card, and you're just cycling through a bunch of nonsense like back and forth. It's taking so much time. Like when you're building those team diamond sets, like it can literally take like a day to build all the sets, and you don't even get to use the player. Like it's crazy. So hopefully that knocks off some time that you're spent on the menus when you could be doing other things. But as for that new feature with the autofill, like I'll believe that shit when I see it. If I can turn that off, I'm turning it off. Like they're gonna throw like my L'Jarius Sneed like in a set as soon as I buy him and he's gone. Like I'm gonna have to wait on that.
Guaranteed. I don't trust it either. Some things just seem too good to be true. Dill, what do you think about the new features for the sets in the binder?
Honestly, that's like one of the parts of the like blog I just kind of skipped over because I was just trying
Yeah.
to see like gameplay and like the cards and stuff. But literally anything to just make it easier, I think is a W. Again, I kind of agree with Mutt though, just kind of like a wait and see thing because I was under the same impression. Like I just don't want I get like a brand new card or something, and for some reason EA puts them in a set, and yeah, that was like the one thing I was worried about too. But yeah, I don't really know. I didn't really read a lot about it, but I think if it makes it easier, it's a W.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And what about you, Nick? What are your thoughts on the binder trash
Well,
clearing?
it's funny when you said like you can't because we were kind of taking everything before Mutt. Well, there's one thing that two of y'all I knew none of y'all had this problem, and I don't know. I'm sure none of you guys remember this, but they wouldn't even. I'm happy they're even thinking about my item binder. To be completely fair, because when I was doing sets this year, I don't know what I did wrong, but like I would go into the sets. You know how some like 81 to 83 is what you had to have, right?
Yeah.
It would in mine it wouldn't do that for me. So when I would go to add players to my binder, it would be my entire item binder,
God.
99 all the way down.
Yeah.
So I had to filter through and do like
Jesus
newest
Christ.
player or something just to get to like the 81 to 83. Can you imagine how long
That's
that takes me to
nasty.
do everything then?
For
Like-
the entire year, or just for like a period of time?
It was like when I moved to Australia, man. I don't know what I did wrong.
Wow.
I don't know if it's just something with the server since it was hard to connect to it or something. I don't know what
Yeah.
it was, but it would make me refilter every single time, and it was every player. So like the fact that they're even thinking about an item binder and making it more efficient for us, that's all I care about. As far as that's why they're listening. That's all.
Yeah,
As long as I see
exactly.
that they listen to what, even if it's not a good job, they fucked it up. That's whatever. It's fine.
For sure.
You know, it is what it is. Like.
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah, it could be anything. I can't really say I remember exactly like if before I moved here, it was the problem, but
Yeah, that's nasty.
but I do remember it was a big problem. It was exactly, it was horrible.
Yeah, I initially thought this is gonna be great because honestly, end of the year when you're doing TVPs, it's okay because you're quick selling the majority of the stuff that's in there to re-roll it. So you don't have that much stuff to sell at the end of like a big 500K roll. You're selling only a few cards like golden tickets and 89s or whatever. But like early in the year when like pro fantasy packs are like what we're ripping or whatever. If I rip like 200,000 or 300,000 worth of pro fantasy packs on stream, it's like it takes me a full day to sell all that shit off or like put it in sets. Like it's just a huge piece of homework to do after the stream. Nobody wants to watch you do it on stream. So unless you're like a guy who does like the 6 to 8 hour streams,
That's what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, man. So I think hopefully if it works, I think it's great. But I'm not gonna trust it until I see some other people having success with it first, for sure.
Yeah.
Now the next thing I wanted to get into, guys, a little bit more content related here. So we talked about some of the changes, but I wanted to talk now about the fact that the first tournament, the MCS Ultimate Kickoff, is going to be, I think, August 20th. And like, when does the game drop? The 16th or something? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy early. Are any of you guys going to be competing in it this year? And what are your thoughts about about the format? Maybe we'll go back down to Mutt for this next one here.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy that they're making them compete like right away. Because I feel like that was one of the biggest gripes they had last year. Was like the first tournament was like 2 weeks out, and they were like, "Oh, bet that was fast for y'all. How about let's try 5 days?" Like so.
Yeah.
Now they're making them get their schemes ready, like get their players ready, like ASAP, and it's just gonna be. I mean, they're just gonna have to adjust on the fly. They're gonna have to put it out there quick.
Yeah, and I guess it's like maybe trying to beat the hype of the NFL season starting. Like they want to get people watching before everybody's like spending their weekends watching football.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of it. But yeah, it does seem like crazy soon. Dill, what do you think about the Ultimate Kickoff? And do you think it's like essentially you have to pay to play when it's this early in the year, or can anybody successfully make it in there and no money spent in only like 4 days?
Oh, you 100% have to pay to play, but like with these tournaments too, it's like for the most part, it's always the same people anyway. So like, does it really even matter? Like, I don't really think it even really matters that it's that early. Like these pro players, they were gonna drop like $1,000 game one anyway,
Yeah.
or like day one
True.
anyway. So I mean, I'm not really surprised.
Yeah, that's true. And plus, like the pro players, like they do that. Like just so they can spend time in the lab. They don't want to necessarily be grinding all the solos. They want to be in the lab day one, getting ready. So they pay to kind of relieve that stress of building a team. So I totally get that, and that probably would have happened anyways, like you said. Nick, what are your thoughts on this first tournament? And did you sign up? Are you going to be competing this year?
I'm gonna try. I don't know. We'll try. So thank you, man. I'm gonna try. It'll be like midnight for me, so that's fine. I won't obviously stream it or anything. I'll just probably, which is a good thing because that just means I'll actually get to play and I won't have like anything to distract me. But
yeah.
I don't know. It's one of them things where like I've thought the structure because I never did it, but like I always talked to Geezer about it, and like I was always like, why would they make a tournament like this ever? You know what I mean? Like they've always been bad at timing, and now they made it even worse. I feel like last year was bad. I was like, you guys just had like a tournament like last week or like last month. I'm like, yeah, we're doing another one.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're not really giving any time for like the dudes that just want to try and like make a run, but at the same time, like I guess there's always been a benefit to being in the community and kind of being in the inn. You know what I mean? So you kind of they're making a lot on like the user, right? The person competing to kind of get it figured out. Because I mean, what happens if you don't have early access? When do you get the game?
19th.
The 19th. Oh shit. Yeah. So you got 1 day.
So,
if you get the standard edition, you're cooked. Like
yeah. So we're not competing then, basically. Yeah, we're not competing. So basically, if you're just an average dude that just wants to try and make a run, you know, not even make a run, just like have fun competing against good players. Like, good luck, because you're gonna have a handicap of skill and of the team. So
yeah, and it's funny, like you think about like real sports, and you think about athletes. Meals are comped, everything's comped. They're like providing people with stuff to succeed and put on a good show. But for like esports and Madden in particular, it's like it's the exact opposite of that. It's like let's get a chunk of money from these people that are promoting our game by playing at this high level on a tournament, and we're gonna make them pay $1,000 to build their team. Like it's kind of crazy. Like I feel like I don't know if other esports have to deal with the same BS. Like it seems like Madden's kind of getting ganged up on. Doesn't matter to me because I'm not making a run anyways. But I definitely feel for the guys. They're putting money in. Nice. Hey, let's go, Drew's making a run. Let's go. Okay. But the next thing I wanted to hop into, guys, and this is getting into more of the team building, and just you can even tell me just which player you're thinking out of each of these groups that you're gonna pick. The first one is I'm assuming all you guys got the All Madden edition. Did you guys all pick up the All Madden version? So they give you 4 players to choose from. I think it's Cam Chancellor, Barry Sanders, Micah Parsons, and Cooper Kupp. Which player are you choosing? And we'll start at Nick and work our way around here.
Fuck. I've literally, I mean, it's not this serious, I'm joking, but like it's keeping me up at night, dude. Like I don't know, because what happens when I get Cam Chancellor and they release Tyrann Mathieu like a day after the game comes out? Well, like it's just one of them things where I think it's gonna be like just who gives a shit? Like just pick a player, like because Micah came out and then they already had the 85 Micah or whatever. So like really, there's not really a point for that. I mean, yeah, you gotta get stats, I guess, but still, something like that, right? But like. Yeah. I think my go-to is probably Bam Bam, just because he'll be my user. But like I'm just saying, remember this time where I say they're gonna drop like a Tyrann Mathieu or something, and they will fucking do it.
Absolutely. Even though he's 5'9", he'll have like 87 speed or something.
Something crazy, yeah. So like I think I'm probably going Cam. And like, I mean, Cup's kind of appealing too, because doesn't he have like route? Does he have an ability or anything?
He has one of the what is it? Out deep.
Yeah. Slot apprentice. That's always huge. Like getting an ability like that at the beginning of the year is always super big for people. So I mean, it's probably between those two, but yeah.
Yeah. And what about you, Dill? Who are you leaning towards for your pick of the All Mad guys?
100% locked in, Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Are ya?
Easily. Yeah.
That's what I'm leaning towards too. What made you pick Micah of the 4?
So I was already on Micah before they announced like the safety at linebacker nerfs, but I get a lurker linebacker, and then when his like zone stats or whatever start to suck, I can play him at defensive end. So I just think he's gonna be on my team for the longest, and I think he's gonna be like dominant day one.
Yeah, I think that high-end speed, 86 speed is the fastest player out of the bunch, right? Cooper Kupp is kind of 84 speed. I look at that and I'm like, oh man, there's so many other like 86 speed options at wide receiver. For sure, but yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards Micah. So you're thinking of using him as a user? Because I'm wondering if linebackers as a user might come back, kind of like in Madden 20, where you could actually use middle linebackers and they were decent.
Sick.
And Lurker was kind of like the meta above Acrobat back then too, right? So
yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna feel weird, guys. Using a linebacker, it's like we haven't done that for a couple years now, so it's gonna take some getting used to before we trust it. But yeah, what about you, MUTality? Who are you leaning towards as your choice?
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards either Cam or Micah. That's what I'm down to. Kind of just going through the elimination process. You want to get somebody that will probably be on your team like as long as possible. Looking at Barry, you really are only using one running back a lot, so Barry's probably already out of the equation. Kupp, you can use a lot of wideouts, but 84 speed is kind of tough even with the route sec. They drop a lot of receivers. I could see him getting outdated pretty fast, so that's where I'm kind of down to Cam Cam and Micah. And like Dill said, once Micah gets a little bit slower or you don't want to use him anymore, you can throw him down on the D line. And
Yeah, I
Micah
like
was
that.
one of the best pass rushers this year, so he's
Yeah.
probably going to be a demon in 23.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm,
really
I'm
like that
probably
part.
leaning that way, but not
Mhm.
not sold just yet.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people. Cooper Cup. It seemed like day one everybody was saying Cooper Cup, and then you see his core elite get dropped. It's like 88 overall. He's one speed faster, and it's like, is it worth it to have that ability? And obviously, like from a schematic standpoint, it is. But yeah, I just feel like there's so many good rookie premier receivers that you could take. That why would you kind of saddle yourself to that horse? So the next thing I want to get into, guys, is amongst the 4-team captains here. So I think it's Eric Allen, cornerback. Keyshawn Johnson, wide receiver, Sam Adams, defensive tackle, and then who's the other one? There's one more in there. That I can't think off the top of my head. Oh, Larry Zonka, fullback. Who's taking a fullback, guys, as their team captain? You know what? It's a rare position, but I mean, if you run bunch, you don't need one. Nick, what do you think? Who are you leaning towards out of these team captains?
Probably the corner, probably Eric Allen, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't that? He's short, but we don't know if height matters this year, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't know yet. So, and then the other one was a fullback, and then what were the other two? Was a D tackle.
And
I guess
and a wide receiver. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I don't know. There's once again, it's one of those things where I guess I'll kind of have to just be in the community, right, and kind of see what we do, or at least take my chats. Imagine listening to my chat, but I don't know. I'm thinking like O or D line. Anytime I can get freebies, I've always said free cards that I don't, because I'm gonna spend a little money this year, So if I can get a free card on the O and D line, that's probably what I would like to do. But at the same time, a corner, I don't know. It just kind of depends on. I think I'm leaning towards either the corner or the D. It depends on if I pull something good, or I don't know exactly what I'm going to do for that team captain one. I've never known really. I always wait to see what other people do for the team captain one too. So I want to say a corner probably, just because why wouldn't you kind of type deal. I obviously don't need the other players right off the bat, so
for sure
I'm thinking Eric Allen, but. If height matters, then I think he's isn't he 5'8" or 5'9", all kind of stuff. But,
yeah, so at best maybe a slot corner or something like that. Although then you have
exactly.
tight ends, and then it's even worse. So good point there, Dill. What about you? Who are you leaning towards out of the 4-team captains?
All right, so I honestly think they all suck besides Keyshawn Johnson. So on my no money spent team, I'm locked in Keyshawn Johnson. But if I'm spent on my money spent team, my God squad, Keyshawn Johnson isn't even really a top 3 receiver in the game. Yeah. So I'm not going to get him. But I really don't think Sam Adams is good. I really don't think Zonka or Eric Allen is that good. But I'd probably just take the defensive tackle just because he's huge. He's 350. So I'll just take the defensive tackle on the God
squad. 3D tackle for you. You know what I mean? It's it's pretty much just fuck it. You might as well.
Exactly. And I was kind of leaning towards, originally I thought it's no-brainer Eric Allen, but then I started looking at the cornerback depth, and I'm like, you know what, there's actually a lot of really good cornerbacks. There's even that 82 overall cornerback that has 87 speed that they're dropping with the headliners.
There's always those types of cards.
There's
always those types of cards.
Exactly. And I'm like, if he's 88 overall and his speed's 86, but then there's the Khair Elam card that's going to be, I'm probably going to take that too. And I was like, do I really need 5 cornerbacks deep? Or I could take a D lineman like I did last year with Jack Youngblood and just stick him there, and nobody really cares about D line anyways. Yeah, and he's probably
that's what I mean. It's a freebie. It's a freebie.
Exactly.
Might as well. So,
MUTality, what are you thinking? Who are you leaning towards? The team captain.
Yeah, I think I'll have to see too. Right now, I'm leaning towards Keyshawn or the D tackle. We'll have to see. I think later down the year too, the DT and the fullback are gonna be the move, especially if we're still running theme teams and stuff, because that's a big spot that's hard to fill sometimes, a fast fullback on kickoff for you, and you can get them on your theme team. DTs, a lot of teams may only have 2 or 3, and you might need a spot to fill on the theme team. So I think those will be the move later on, but early on, I'll probably go Keyshawn or D tackle. One thing I'm interested to see is hopefully I never understood why they did this, is I hope we have unlimited exchanges between the captains.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They used to have 3 or 5 and you could get stuck. I was like, I don't understand why you would ever put a restriction on it. So
100%.
I guess as long as there's unlimited exchanges, it doesn't really matter. You could take day 1, you could change the next day.
Yeah.
So
I
hopefully
don't
that's
know
how
about that
it
either,
goes.
because your roster changes throughout the year. What you need week 1 is so different than what you need in June.
It changes weekly. It changes weekly.
Yeah, So
it's not even like it's once every series or something, you know,
exactly.
or season or whatever. It's
even,
very frequently.
Even if it's like you have to sacrifice like one core gold or something to change it, like that's fine. I don't care. Like maybe there should be some penalty or pay a certain number of coins to exchange it. But yeah, like it's so stupid if you have 2 or 3, because who even keeps track of how many they have left? Sometimes I've been like, oh, I'll change over for a week, and then I realize, oh, I'm stuck now because you know I didn't keep track of them in a document somewhere. But yeah, so I'm definitely leaning towards either the DT or Eric Allen, but I think the DT is the more likely choice here for me. The next thing I want to get into, guys, I just have a couple more topics I wanted to cover here. Rookie premieres. There's going to be 32 rookie premieres to choose from, and we've got a glimpse of these cards like before a lot of this new Madden 23 news came out, you know, a few months back. But what are some of the rookie premieres that you guys are targeting? Do you already have your, like, I guess you can probably get 3 auctionable on the main account. First of all, are you guys going to be taking the auctionable or the Nat versions? And second of all, which ones are you leaning towards, or who do you think might be the best cards that have some longevity in this game? Maybe we'll start with Mutt and go backwards this time.
Yeah, as for the rookie premieres, I did all 15, so I'll be able to kind of go through my options. I think I'm gonna go with the all 3 auctionals just because coins is pretty king at the start. I mean, if it's kind of like last year, you can sell them for 250, 300K each. So I mean, if you can get like 700K to start off the rip with your team, it's pretty big just for either investments or sets or whatever we're gonna need later down the line, because coins is really hard to get at the start. So that would be kind of a big start to help the team and kind of build the stack more.
For sure. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going auctionable as well. Still don't know exactly which ones I'm going towards. What do you think, Dill? What are your plans for your tokens, and do you have any players that you're targeting out of that group that are like no-brainers?
So I did all 15 on my Xbox and my PlayStation account, and I'm going to have the same strategy for each. I'm getting the 5 players, so I'll get the 1 auctionable with like the 4 like NCATs, because my plan is just to try to build the best team possible, go into head-to-head, and just grind my coins that way. So the 5 that I'm picking, I have 4 of them locked in. I'm taking, I think it's Luke Gadecki and Zion Johnson at guard, because they said in the stream they for sure get post up. So I'll get 2 post up guards day 1. Cool. I'll get Tyquan Thornton, Khair Elam, probably the 2 best people. And then my 5th one, I'm really up for, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the 5th one's kind of tough, but I think I'm going to go Dax Hill, just because he's a pretty good free safety. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do. Yeah, he's like 86 speed.
Yeah, I think he's the fastest free safety in the game, so I'm definitely leaning towards that guy. And then Thornton, 86 speed, again, top end speed, and I think he's fairly tall, like maybe like 6'2" or something like that. And then Elam just seems like a no-brainer. Like, his stats look really good. He's one of those few cards that actually looks like he'll play better than his overall. Although I really didn't like his 99 rookie premiere this year. I felt like he just got dunked on, so I don't know what his trades are going to be like, but definitely some good options there. Nick, what about you? Who are you targeting, and are you going to do the Nat, or are you going to do the auctionable ones?
I don't know yet, man. To be honest, I've thought about this, and I've made it a point on stream to talk about it too. I don't know yet, man. To be honest, like I think my thinking is like I won't open them all right off the bat. I'll see if I get anything crazy like in my polls. If my polls can bail me out or something, you know, on something, maybe I'll save a corner, or I'll save a guard. Or I don't know exactly. I can't lie to you. I'm kind of going into that one winging it. Once again, I'm going to kind of see what the community does. And I don't know. That's the best part about being a dude that, you know, we've all been in the community for a pretty long time now. We can kind of tap in with a bunch of different types of people, like comp dudes, gameplay guys, YouTube people. You can kind of tap in with anybody. So, I mean, Dill's got a really good point, and Mutt did too. Both coins are huge at the beginning, and I mean, not free post-ups, but post-ups, shit like that. If you're just trying to get into the game, that's going to get you into the game. You know what I mean? That's going to instantly get you able to play. So my thinking was, like I told you guys earlier, freebies like D tackles, free guards. I'm not touching my linemen probably for a while after I get my base linemen. I'm going to touch on receivers and running backs and quarterbacks and, you know, secondary. So I'm leaning probably towards more linemen. If you like Dill's the guards, that's a really good idea. I didn't think about it. So. Yeah, I don't know. Not to like not answer the question really, but I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna do yet, man. To be honest,
you'll get a couple NATOs deep and then make a decision like on stream at some point.
And then make my best decisions.
Sounds good. Yeah, honestly, like, and I'm just thinking too now, like going back to the MCS Ultimate Kickoff too. Like, you got to imagine that all of the pro players are probably just going to be taking like 5 O linemen just so that they have an O line established for the for 4 days later when they have to have a full team. Like, they don't even have the option really of taking the auctionable ones unless they want to sell them immediately. So I mean, kind of a lot to think about. I think I'm definitely going to get my 3 auctionables, and I think what I'm going to do, I did 15 of the rookie premieres on a second account, so I think I'm gonna see how safe it is to transfer those over, and then those will become. I don't know, man. What do you think? Mutt's shaking his head. Mutt, am I gonna get popped if I try?
I mean, I got console ban doing that at the start of last year, so
that's true.
But I did it. I'm doing it again this year. I have rookie premieres on Madden accounts, so we don't have to find a scheme. We gonna run it back. Hopefully, I'll be console ban again.
So maybe I sell them on my second account and gradually funnel coins over. Like,
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a slow process. Whatever you do not trade platinums. I got fucking popped. That was so dumb.
Yeah, that's
trading
tough.
Platinums.
And it's different doing that in week 1 as opposed to doing it in July where nobody really cares. Like, I don't feel anybody's getting popped late in the year, but because I traded a bunch of limiteds over to my other account and nobody did shit. But that's interesting to think about. I have the plan of like moving these guys, like, swapping them over, and then they turn into NCATs, and I keep those ones and sell the others. But I might be safer doing it on my second.
What
account.
I'm thinking too is like when Legends come out, buy the set pieces for the Legends, and then trade them over, and then build the Legend, and then you can sell them.
And we're probably gonna get Legends like the first weekend, or maybe the second weekend, if anything, like at the latest. So yeah, I can wait a few days with a bum ass team. Now, guys, the last thing that I want to talk about on here is the first big promo that's being released this year. We've got a glimpse at, I think only. Well, actually, do we see all the cards or just the majority of them? I
think they said it was a two-parter, so we'll probably get more masters and stuff in like a week or two.
For sure. So what do you guys think of what you've seen from the Headliners promo? Have we had this one in past years? I don't remember ever seeing this logo before. Last year we had, like, what was it, the Superstar promo or some crap like that. Any cards that you see that you want to target out of that promo? I think the Sneed looks kind of nasty. The 88 speed Legarius Sneed, kind of wild. Nick, have you had a chance to see any of these cards yet?
I didn't really look at them much, no, to be honest with you. So if you wouldn't mind flipping the Mutt, I can go over them a little bit more. And
for sure.
Because I'm looking at them right. It's like AJ. Is it? No, those are all the core elites.
It's like Joe Mixon. There's.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry if you can't dig anything up on them. But MUTality, we'll start with you. Because you tweeted them all out, so I know you've seen them.
Yeah, there's definitely some good cards out there. I mean, the 2 Masters, obviously, if you can get them, you can get them. That Sneed is the fastest card in the game we've seen. So I mean, you're gonna need DBs out there. Mixon looks pretty good too, but I would probably prioritize Sneed. A sleeper that I don't even think is really a sleeper anymore. Everyone's been talking about is that Parham, that 6'8" tight end.
How tall?
Yeah.
How tall is he? What?
He's 6'8", and he's like faster than Kyle Pitts. Like
that's right. Kyle Pitts and Kittle are both 84 speed, and he's got 85. That's kind of glitchy, actually.
He's looking like a demon, and I'm pretty sure you get like 2 or 3 86s from the Headliners Field Pass. I already saw that, so I think everyone should be taking him as one of your free guys you get, and then for the pre-order you get an 82, and that Farley's very fast as well. So I think Farley and Parham should be locked, and then hopefully I can maybe get Sneed. I'll see how much he's gonna be.
Yeah, good advice there for sure. That definitely like some budget beast there if we do get the free ones that come with the pre-order stuff. Dill, what are you thinking? Any players that you saw that you're definitely going to target out of the first promo?
for sure Sneed, Fairley for the free 82 if you pre-ordered, and Parham. Those are like the 3 locks. Now there are some other people that I really like. I think Gabe Davis is going to be also a lock too. He gets outside apprentice, 86 overall. I think he's going to be one of my 3 receivers that always plays. But I agree with Mutt a lot though too. Like Joe Mixon, I would actually avoid him because like he isn't really even that much better than like 87 Jonathan Taylor, and he's probably going to be going for like 300K. So I don't think it's worth it. I will say there's a couple like golds that I really like. I think Grant Delpit's going to be like good budget beast. Eric Stokes is a demon, and that dude Joe Tryon from the Bucks. The way he plays in regs is crazy. And then like the final card that I'm kind of like looking out for, Carson Wentz is interesting. He's an 86 improviser, but they were saying how like the high overall elites get like mismatch ability buckets. So like potentially like if they consider 86 a high overall elite, like maybe you get like a set feed lead quarterback as an 86 overall. That'd be pretty nice. And I think Carson Wentz could be like the best budget QB potentially.
For sure. So you think when they were saying high elite, it could mean high elite in the game at that given time, like with the best cards of each promo kind of thing? Because I was assuming it was like, what they did with Ultimate Legends when they get up to like a 99 or something and they have like different ability buckets or something. But that would be a W actually, if that is the case. Nick, did you get a chance? Were you able to dig up any of those guys? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty easy money. Like for me, it's like it's funny how we're a year. I'm learning just so much more about MUT every year. Like so, basically, Sneed is our like. Last year we had a different. I don't remember who the corner is, but he was our 82. He was our Farley last year. So that's it's funny like how like now he's the guy that everyone. You always want Sneed. Like I remember saying Sneed it a billion times in a row whenever you get a pick. But like. I'm thinking definitely the 82, that Farley dude, because like that's what I live off of at the beginning of the year. Is like I know we don't have a lot of speed, like they made a point of it this year, but low overalls and high speeds that pretty much they go crazy to start the year. Like we'll find more of them probably too. Like as far as the year goes, we'll find different guys that are like 86 speed or 85 that play crazy. Like
well that's
so I'm definitely thinking that.
Yeah, they only kind of leaked out the top 10 at each position, at least that I've seen. So we don't know. Like last year, there was like Raheem Mostert's like 81 was like super fast. Like I had him probably for like a month and a half as my running back, running a Niners team. So I'm excited for when the database drops and they show us all these other low 80s because I think we might see some better options speed wise down at the lower end than we do see out of these top cards. I mean, a lot of the top cards at certain skill positions, like the core elites, honestly, they look kind of crap. I'm not gonna lie, like they look really slow. So we'll see what comes up from those lower overalls. Well, boys, overall, the last thing I wanted to ask you guys about here, because we covered all the new content, we covered a whole bunch of stuff here. On a scale of 1 to 10 here, how good of a job do you think that EA has done with the rollout and building up hype to Madden 23? I know for me personally, I think this is the 3 years that I've been streaming Madden, I haven't been as excited or as impressed by EA as I have this year. I think this has by far been my favorite rollout. Maybe we'll start with Mutt and work our way around here. Is EA catching W's or what?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from the time I've been in the community, at least like the last 2 or 3 years, this is the most hype I've seen around it. I mean, a lot of people have been handing out W's. A lot of it just feels like we've been listened to for a lot of the problems, a lot of things they've already corrected that I think we've been talking about for the last years that are actually being fixed. I mean, that could be EA just doing the bare minimum and we're satisfied, but a lot of it is we got to see how everything comes to fruition once the game is out. But right now there's not really many L's I can hand out. So, I mean, they're doing as good as they can, but we got to sit and wait and see if they deserve the W's and keep the W's.
Yeah, for sure. The only thing that I think people were saying was kind of an L was maybe like not having a Mutt Master, but I mean we got to wait and see what the bi-weekly cards they release are looking like. If they're actually good and playable and top end cards, then I think that concern will kind of go away here. Dale, what about you? What do you think about EA's rollout of content like over the last couple weeks?
So literally, I'm giving it 100 out of 10 because I have never literally like you were saying last 3 years I have never been this excited to play a Madden ever. So just from the way the beta played, the way the cards are looking, the way the speed is lower, it seems like we're gonna be able to play this game all year long, which is really big. And I'm just super excited. I can't wait. How many more days is it? 6?
MUTality, you tweeted out today. Reminder from MUTality.
Yeah, should be 6.
Yeah, and then also MUTality, how tired are you of typing that New Zealand line too at the
I know. I just gotta drop it in there.
You gotta represent it for Call Me Spree.
No,
we have 2 members of the stream team from Oceania right now. We got New Zealand and Australia held down. Like we got that corner of the world like on lock. Probably the 2 best content creators to come out of Oceania right now. But Nick, what about you, man? How excited are you for the drop? And
Mutt, you can go. What were you about to say, Mutt?
I was just gonna say that the worst question is when's the trial coming out? When's the 10-hour trial?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh God. Well, Mutt, you leaked something maybe accidentally here, so I won't put you on blast. But when you came into the Discord today, do you think we're gonna see potentially a little bit of early access here? Like
Maybe. So through the grapevines, there's been some rufflings and some rumors that maybe we end up getting the game a day early, but I can't confirm, can't deny. I mean, I guess we'll have to see when it comes out.
Yeah, and set your clocks, guys. Set your clocks ahead 12 hours to New Zealand time or Australian time or whatever. We got to get that game as soon as possible in our hands. Nick, what were you gonna say, man, about your thoughts on the whole rollout of Madden 23 so far?
Yeah, so I've obviously been enjoying my time away from Madden. This last month I've been branching out with the Fall Guys and the multiverses and shit. But a year from now, I would much rather still be playing Madden. So if the longevity of the game, I just want to have fun playing the game. I mean, obviously towards the end of the year it gets a little boring with everything, but it seems longevity is going to be crazy better this year. We already started it off better, so you have to think as long as they don't do too much and they keep doing what they're doing, I think we'll be all right.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. I would say I'm probably with Dill with what Dill said. I'm pretty excited, man. I don't know. It seems because my chat's pretty casual, but I have a lot of friends that are compete at a high level, and I don't really see a disconnect as far as people are generally happy. It's not really the pros are too pissed. It's not really the casuals are everyone's just hopeful. It's just hopeful. So and that's what you're supposed to be. You want to be optimistic about a game we're going to play every single day. You might as well not be, you know what I mean? You might as well not be the other way around, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. They've done a good job bridging the gap between the comp and the casual community, and bottom line 90% of people who play Madden are casual, in some facet of it, but at the same time,
exactly.
The comp community is very important, and obviously one thing you like to see bigger prize pools for MCS. Doesn't necessarily matter for me personally, but I know that's one thing the comp community's asked for. But man, I think overall, I got to say 10 out of 10. I'm super excited. There was a dead period there where I was I don't know what to do for YouTube and stuff. There's nothing new coming out after Ultimate Legends ended. And then the last 2 weeks has just been full of a whole bunch of good leaks and good information coming out. So definitely, I'm hyped up. I'm ready for it, guys. But appreciate all you three coming in here, man. It was great to have you all on the podcast. Get your ideas on the rollout of Madden 23 and where you've been at. But I can't wait to see what you guys do with your channels. And I know Nick, you've been getting your YouTube channel gassed up lately too, right? You're gonna be.
I'm trying, at least getting people in there. At least so when I finally post my first whatever, I guess weekend league isn't really the right word, but at least when I post my first video on there, at least someone will be watching it, hopefully.
For sure, man. And can we expect from you, Nick? Can we expect a lot of hours streamed once the game drops first week?
Oh yeah. I already kind of was talking about it a 12-hour the day that it drops, but I mean that means I'm going to midnight here, which isn't a big issue, but I mean I've been keeping it pretty tame with 6 hours, trying to be professional about it, but we'll have to crank into the 7-8 hour streams probably when the game comes out. We're grinding. It's grind time, baby. We had our fun time jumping around with beans and shit. It's grind time now.
That's right. This is time to play a man's game now. I was so happy when I uninstalled Fall Guys. I suck at it. I probably made it out of the first round once, out of all the scrimmages that I ran with my team. But Dill, what about you, man? What's the schedule looking like when Madden 23 drops, as far as YouTube and Twitch?
So YouTube gonna be more of the same. I'm gonna try to double upload as much as I can, as long as there's some fresh content, stuff like that. For me though, officially going to be unretired from streaming. You're actually going to get some consistency back. I took a really long break from streaming because I just hated Madden 22 and I just wasn't having fun. I think everyone here can kind of relate to that. But
hell yeah.
I plan to just be streaming as much as I can. My schedule's going to be a little wonky when school starts though.
Yeah.
But other than that, just get on the TikTok grind too. And then that's what, just like Nick said, grind time, baby.
Let's go. Hey, I love that. That's the theme.
Have fun doing it too. Have fun doing it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a good time.
Absolutely.
Have fun doing it.
And MUTality, what's Madden 23 bringing for you from a content perspective? We getting. I mean, you've been grinding all through the summer, with the streams. You've been staying consistent. Are we gonna be seeing anything changing for you schedule wise?
We'll see. I mean, I would like to get back to YouTube at some point. It's just been things been really busy, and I don't know. We'll have to see if I can make out some time for it. But as for the streams, I'll be on the streams. Start of Madden should be minimum Monday through Friday, and then maybe throw some Saturdays, some Sundays in there. But we'll be going at least like 3, 4, 5 hours a day, and pumping them out, having fun. Hopefully.
Let's go.
Yep.
And you get those Google alerts ready, keeping us informed on Twitter. Have you started to see growth on Twitter again with all the news coming out?
Yeah, I'm starting to see it pick up a little bit. I think towards the end of like Madden, a lot of people don't have noties on, or people kind of unfollow because they're kind of done with Madden. But then you'll see kind of like the same group like come back again, like follows start going back up, and hype kind of building around the game. So sure, everyone's numbers will start looking good. I'm excited to see the directory, because I mean the directory's been down pretty bad, under 1,000 a lot of times. So
what are we thinking? Like 20,000, 30,000?
Yeah, I would say like 20, 30,000.
I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good opening week. It'll be a lot of competition for sure with some of the big guys coming back, from streaming MLB The Show or whatever. I think MLB The Show kind of died out quicker this year too than it did last year. But I don't know. It's interesting. Like I think last year even, I'm pretty sure the directory died out pretty damn quick. Like it really did not maintain momentum. So I think this year, hopefully, for all of our sakes, we can kind of keep people interested in the game, and you guys are all doing a great job of bringing people in and doing some good PR work for EA, and kudos to them for actually trying to hold up their end of the bargain this time around. It looks like, but I mean, we gotta wait and see how it plays. You never know until you pick up that controller and play your first game. But appreciate you boys all coming in, man. Really a pleasure to talk to you. Hopefully we can have you on here. I'm gonna try and do this Vertex podcast once a month and rotate through the guys, but. Yeah, you guys killed it. I'm gonna put this on YouTube tomorrow. And
thanks for having us, Murph. Thanks for having me,
Of
dude.
course, man.
Thank you.